And you gonna murder this one and murder that one. Talking all that bullshit. I'm gonna put it to you like this, yo.
This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me. I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What is poppin', everybody? And welcome back to another special episode of the Only Friends podcast. Well, you know, it's me and my only friends, which includes, but is not limited to, my boy, Tortu. Wow, I like that.
It's time.
It's time. It's time. It's time.
We're not the Weekend Warriors, but it's time for the World Series, baby.
It is here.
It's here.
It's here.
Comes so quick.
Kicks off.
I think I just pulled something in my shoe.
Did you? Kind of rough.
That'll be all right.
It's pretty exciting tomorrow kicking off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's time.
Yeah,
Just
it is
tournaments
time.
every day for the next.
Let's go.
It's pretty exciting.
I know.
I wasn't really that excited until
It's going to go so quick. It always does.
Yeah.
But, you know,
It comes back so quick.
we got a month and a half of craziness. Can't wait. Guapo's even getting in the mix.
Damn, I think I'm going to fire a couple events. I'm going to maybe fire 2 bullets at the mystery bounty. And then, fingers crossed, with a little help from Conrad, maybe I'll play the main event this year.
He's definitely playing the main.
Okay.
I'm optimistic.
It's not even a question.
Have you played the main before?
I have never played the main.
You've never played the main.
What you don't know is your action's already sold.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. What's poppin', Berk? Oh shit, you're in the weeds over there.
Yeah.
Look at that man working hard.
He's working hard.
He's running a sim right now.
He is running a sim. Yep. Look at him go.
All right.
Look at him go.
Got a really nice profile there, Matt.
Yeah.
Brian, when's your first event?
It is Friday.
You know why I ask you?
Why?
I have to make sure that's when my first
that's
event.
right. Yeah,
I copied your
exactly.
schedule, remember?
Yeah. Right.
So,
Connie's taking copy and paste to another
if you
level.
could do me
Technically, you can play Thursday.
okay.
I think the 30th or what is it? The 30th. Is that Thursday? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's when the Mystery Millions starts. But I'm playing Friday, which is day 1B.
Guapo, can you memorize pre-flop ranges for MTTs in like the next week or so?
Don't they change depending on your stack size?
Yeah, I mean, you'll have to do a little bit of work, but you know, you and Landon can get in the lab, you and Hunt, whatever.
Right.
It's not too, like, you're pretty good at the pre-flop stuff, right?
Not bad.
Okay.
This last week was very humbling for me.
Okay, relax. I will, would you like to play a full online schedule this summer?
A full online schedule.
You love the onlines.
I do love the onlines, but I don't know, man. Aren't they a little shady these days?
Maybe, but who cares?
Yeah.
Like there's hundreds of people flying in to register for WSOP.com and fire off their $500 at the Abyss.
So answer the question.
That sounds exciting. Yes. The answer is always yes.
You know, you can just think of all the work you can do while you're just grinding one table at a time.
Yeah. It's so true.
And taking B-roll of Landon. I think I secured another job for the summer.
Another job? Wow.
That's good. Well, we'll have Travis to talk to after the show to figure out if that's the thing. I want to bring back Results May Vary. I don't know if it's going to be possible. We don't have a film crew living with us anymore. But we do have a Guapo.
But
What?
We have a Guapo.
That's racist.
I don't understand what that means.
What's racist?
What's racist about
yeah, what is racist?
having a Guapo?
You just said we have a Mexican.
No, I said we have a handsome man.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. That would be exciting.
I
Results
gotta
May
do
Vary
gift
was
too.
awesome.
Oh, wow. The Yinzer Bible?
Nobody
This
wants
is actually
that.
the second one of these that I've been gifted.
Okay.
Danielle gave me one as well. It's on my bookshelf at home.
Fine, I'll take that one.
But I was given this one. It will now rest on the podcast right above Outlive.
I love it.
It's a little flat. You can't quite see it the way you can the
Just a bunch
Outlive
of
cover.
Yeah.
You just see the black and yellow. It's
Just have a bunch of books on your desk.
when they get gifted to me,
bookshelf,
when they get gifted to me, I put them up there.
Why don't you read a little bit from that?
Yeah, we'll have the daily Yinzer passage, okay?
Oh, no.
Now we're talking.
Oh, this is perfect.
We're down bad.
I opened right up to the there's a section about Pittsburghese. Opened right up to it. Yeah.
Pittsburghese, yeah. The language of Pittsburgh.
It's Pittsburghese dictionary and that.
Nat.
Okay, you got to know about in that. So first entry into Pittsburghese dictionary. About.
About.
A-B-A-H-T.
Yeah.
About. You know, about. Shout out.
Down bad.
That's how we say. What do you think Pittsburghese is for a blanket?
A blanket?
Yeah.
A blanket.
It's so funny because I would have never known this is a Pittsburghese word. I just thought this was the thing.
Man. I don't know.
Have you all ever heard of an Afghan?
Oh, Afghan. I was going to say Afghan. I swear to God. And I was just like.
No, it's just a thing, right?
Yeah, an Afghan.
But
Yeah,
what did I tell you
almost said
guys about
Afghan,
being
yeah.
racist? We just spoke about this. What is wrong with you people?
So
It's not a person from Afghanistan.
So let me get this straight. An Afghan is not a knitted blanket for you guys?
Negative.
God,
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's 100%.
I literally was, damn it. Why didn't I say it? Because I thought of it and I was like, well, no, it's
Right.
not that. That's just a thing.
Right, you have that crazy
You threw me off
ant.
when you said it's not a thing.
Right, well, it's not a thing.
It's a thing. Afghan's a thing.
Only for us.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's been in the Pittsburghese dictionary.
Well, then if it's in the dictionary, it's in the Bible. It's
in the Bible.
All right, it's the word.
It's in the Bible.
It's the word of God.
This is the first thing that came to mind for me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very racist of you. But it's your race, so that's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, the Afghans are these like quilted blankets by some crazy aunt who has too many cats and just knits all day with a couple spools of yarn, you know? Or my sister, if you will.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alicia.
Yes.
What about AHR? Do you know what AHR is?
AHR.
Yeah, just pronounce that out.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. R.
Yeah.
R.
R.
Yeah.
So it's the time, like how many?
How many hours
there's 20.
in a
Yeah,
day?
there's 24 of them in a day.
Yeah.
24 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Conrad, you'll get this one. Nope, not doing it.
Oh, racist. God damn
Not
it.
doing it.
Come
on, one time.
Not doing it.
No.
God damn it.
Pull the trigger, man.
Have you ever heard of an ambulance?
An ambulance?
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's what we call it.
Ambulance?
And if you want a cold brewski after work, you get an iron.
An iron.
A what?
An iron.
Iron?
So Iron City beer is like the beer of
okay.
Pittsburgh, but we don't say Iron City. We say Iron City.
Okay, so this is the last one I'm going to end on. And this actually, this has come in handy at times because it's a very cultured term. It's not just Pittsburghese. But only us Yinzers can relate to these other cultures because we're a melting pot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know what a babushka is?
Babushka.
Yeah.
That's Russian, like a Russian hat, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Absolutely.
I only know that because it could be.
Could also be a headscarf worn by elderly ladies to the church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Generally Catholic ladies.
Yes.
Because we were all Catholic.
I was going to say it's a hairy tota.
I'm sorry, what? Did you just make up a new term for vagina?
Maybe.
A tota? Why?
I mean, you're reading fucking your own goddamn
listen,
language.
this
I'm
is a
going to say
whole-
make up my own language.
This isn't
too.
just a me thing. This is a whole region, man. Like, I'm so excited to bring you guys Yinzeries every day.
I know.
You guys
Yeah.
are going to learn so much.
Right.
It's going to be great. This is a fantastic new segment.
Yep.
Guapo, if you could get on that intro, just really Yinzer it up, you know?
Okay.
Really Pittsburgh dad it up,
Yeah.
if you will.
Got it.
Thank you. Thank you, Manuel, for the gift. This one's going to
Oh, that was from Manuel?
Yeah,
Nice.
of course.
Awesome.
Of course, he gets it.
Yeah, he does. Mm-hmm.
Let's kick off the week with a little Who's Cooking. We got a lot of people in the fire.
Ready or not, here I come. Jumped out with my soul leaking, going hard till I'm so eating. No chatting and no speaking, no dapping with slow breathing. Damn, homie, you the man, homie. They can't do it, but you can, homie. They can't do it.
We got a couple people in the fire this week. They're cooking. You know, they got some steak and eggs. They got, you know, they're making the filet mignon. Starting off with Jack. It's his week. WSOP started. Look at this man.
Wait, who's this super skinny guy?
Who is this super skinny
What in the
guy?
heck is going on here? Is this Jack Effel?
He must be doing the GLP-1s like I'm taking Manjaro.
No?
No, it's just eating good, it's going to the gym, it's getting enough protein, drinking enough water, and just trying to not put anything bad in my body. That's literally all.
He's on the gym bro grind.
Oh my God! At least I've been hitting the gym, but I've been eating way too much sugar.
Phil, no one believes that you've been hitting the gym.
Good luck this year, man.
World Series starts on what, Thursday?
No, World Series starts on Tuesday.
Man, fucking
World Day for the last what?
Fucking help me that's out here saying that he's taking Manjaro or whatever it is.
Yeah, Manjaro.
Is that the same
Like
thing as
Manjaro.
Ozempic?
Yeah, it's just
It's
another
like
brand.
it's a different version of it. Yeah.
He's just still scarfing the Sour Patch Kids. He's
Yeah.
like, okay, I got this all figured out. I'm gonna take this drug that only allows me to eat 300 calories a day, but I'm
And
gonna
those 300
fill those
calories-
300 with Sour Patch Kids.
Well, that's in between the gym.
Yeah, well, he has brand endorsement deals, I guess, to work on. Yeah, Jack looks great.
Yeah, Jack does look great, man. He's probably he looks like half of himself.
Yeah.
Right. So
Half the man he used to be.
No.
Just for a little context, I mean,
wow,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
What?
Okay.
How young is he in that left picture? That has to
He
be
looks
like
like-
1996.
I know. It looks like he's 20.
Yeah, that's fresh out of college.
Yeah.
Wow, what a change.
That's what happens when you get too rich.
Mm.
I'm telling. That's what having a piece of the fucking World Series selling off deal to Playtica or whatever it was. That's what happens, man.
Yeah.
Start fucking eating good in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Conrad knows what I'm talking about. Who else is cooking?
We got some.
Who's in the
some other
pan?
people cooking. We got Pads and Fitting. What the fuck did they do this week?
No, they're on some street shit.
Yo, this is like some Street
poker?
Fighters. This is some
This
hood
is hood
fighter.
poker. So we got the 4 high. We got a fold, obviously. He's just fucking around. Nope. He's all in for a half blind more. Got it through.
and he got some. How do you get the full?
Got it through. I mean, his blockers, bro. His blockers.
Oh, teach me.
I don't know what stage of the tournament this was in.
I see 3 people left.
But I do know that he said his opponent is the best cash game player in the world. I think it's Brock. So Brock plays like 100K NL for anybody who's curious. Like when it runs on GG, he's one of the big winners in that game. But you can still sneak one by him. Get one past the goalie here. Not to be outdone, on the exact same day, Fenton goes deep and gets 4th in, I think, the Bounty Builder scoop. And manages to pull off the same bluff with my favorite hand, 5-4 of spades. This is really small if you can make it bigger. I can't see shit.
Sure.
I don't think this is video, right? You have to actually enlarge each of the
just a
pictures.
screenshot.
Yeah, just click on each of the pictures. He got us. He didn't got us. Now he got us. Okay. All right, so it looks like 15 blinds in the pot, 12.5. We call with the open ender. And now I can't see it. Can you just there, yeah, there we go. Okay. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Don't leave any fucking chips behind anymore. The rain is over.
Yeah.
The leaving some back to spin, it's done and over with. We're getting jammed on by the 5 high now. And
was just like what was bound to happen, right?
Yeah.
It was
the
just
evolution.
like,
Chance tried it in the 250K versus Sovereign last year. Didn't work.
No.
No.
Wow.
It's not going to work very often.
No. But when it does, man, you look like a genius.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, I think the real evolution is just that when you have hands that are supposed to just call, they start to jam.
Yeah.
Because like you're not risking really much of anything, but you actually are giving them a decision.
Yeah.
Shoving naked's tough. Shoving naked's fucking, I mean, like you are effectively calling off 5 high here with just a sliver of fold equity.
I think, yeah, I'm gonna re-exploit and just do it with the nuts. Just leave a little bit back with the nuts.
Well, you do that too.
Yeah.
All right,
but
that's
only the nuts.
Oh. Tortoise, nobody thought that you were doing anything different to begin with, buddy. If you want to re-exploit, do it with a fucking bluff once in a while. That's true. Actually have a fold, Ay, mamacita. Who else do we got cooking?
We got some people
Who's in the kitchen?
We got some people in the live streets in the kitchen.
Okay.
Our boy Greg.
All right. Greg
Mr.
Versa.
Ships the 600 PLO, I think it was, down at the Venetian.
400.
400?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. 5K.
Sweet.
For
Nice
those of
little
you
pickup.
guys who don't know, Greg was one of my college roommates. Moved out here together. It was me, Lamana, Hanks, Brent Hanks, Greg, and then our other friend Brandon Garrity. He got in the PLO streets pretty early.
Yeah.
I used to dabble. I used to play some heads up PLO back then. Didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was really good at gambling though.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt PLO was.
Greg went to the PLO streets and he never looked back. He doesn't play Hold'em anymore.
No.
He's fuck that 2-card game.
He's
He's like, that's boring. I don't want to play that.
Yeah.
And he's been cooking. So I think he played like 3 events, or four of these PLO events in the past, I don't know how many, like couple weeks. And he made 2 final tables and a bubble to final table, and then he won
good.
1. Yeah.
Between just WSOP alone, between live and online, you could pretty much play a full PLO schedule this year.
Yeah.
And then when you throw in the other properties, like very easy to get like 30 events.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
So good for him.
He said the fields are soft.
Yeah.
Well, they tend to be. It's hard to be good at 2-card.
Right. Just like, even you're playing, Oaken heads up. Neither one of you know the rules of the game.
I'd play him in Tiddlywinks, and I don't even know what that game is. Let me look in the Yinzer Bible. Hold on. Let me see if Tiddlywinks is in there.
It's got to be in there.
Tiddlywinks has to be in there. That seems like a very Yinzer-esque term.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Somehow, some way, I don't know how this happened, but Mr. Tiddlywinks himself is also cooking. Berkey smashed him yesterday.
Oh my God.
Smashed him yesterday.
Towers of chips.
Look at all those flags.
Look at all those flags.
So, am I right? This is your biggest
On Memorial Day, too.
Bobby-
That's right.
Yeah.
Bobby's room to
Salute
win?
to the soldiers. Yeah, this is my biggest win to date in that game. 183K, 182K, something like that.
Wow, $250,000, huh?
Yeah, $250,000. Rounded up.
I might have rounded up a little in pre-production.
got real over his skis on that one, let me tell you. Yeah, I would love to say that I was just okay. I do have a hand. You guys will enjoy this one.
Okay. I was going to say there has to be some hands.
I was about to say I would love to say I was just playing fucking amazing, but the truth was I was just making like pretty good hands.
Well.
So this hand occurs where I think we're playing stand up, but both myself and the player I'm up against are sitting. And the game.
Do you guys actually stand up or do you use buttons?
Yes. Some people try to encourage the buttons. I am a big advocate for standing.
I agree.
Huge advocate for standing. Mm-hmm. Anybody that asks for a button, I immediately not only want to make them stand, but now I want to pick them up if I get the 7 deuce. So we're playing standing game. I think there's 4 or 5 still standing. Mm-hmm. And you guys know, we've been through enough now with the Poker Out Loud. Standing game is, you guys have no idea how big it plays.
Right.
So there's a straddle to 400. He opens under the gun 7, playing 9-handed. He opens under the gun 7 to, I want to say 1,500. I think that's no. Sorry, he opens 1K. And
what is the standing game penalty?
500 per person, so 4K total. So he opens 1K over a straddle, gets called in 3, maybe 4 spots, and I have 2 black jacks on the button. I make it 4,500, and we are 90,000 effective. He and I are the deepest stacks in the game.
Okay.
Folds back to him. He makes it 15-5. Pretty big 4-bet.
Yeah.
Very, very large 4-bet, but not unreasonable by any stretch. And we had been battling quite a bit. He's a new player. I've never played with him before, but he seems quite competent, seems to understand the game pretty well, and is kind of passing as a fake VIP, if you will. Younger Korean kid that I personally think is playing quite well. But he's giving action, so it's kind of whatever. And I've picked up on some things going to showdown, so I've noticed some patterns and some things that I feel pretty confident about, to the point where I very strongly considered getting it in pre. Wow. just the meta of all this with the standing game, and this was the 3rd or 4th hand in a row that I had either opened or 3-bet, and I had just been getting a good distribution. And that it over influences the meta sometimes, where you're just getting a lot of good hands and you're naturally aggressive to begin with.
This guy's trying to run the table over.
Well, yeah, and it's when you default to being naturally aggressive, you just don't ever miss those spots, right? Like the hands that are like supposed to lean 3-bet but call sometimes, you're just like always 3-betting kind of stuff. So it does look like I'm over aggressing and I could potentially be overplaying some spots. Anyway, point is like I'm ranking my hand a little bit higher than maybe it's actually worth. Like queens, I almost 100% would have 5-bet induced, which is just like way too weak in effectively we're like 270 straddles deep. Queens is just generally like too weak to stack off versus an early position range, but I felt like pretty good about it. Anyway, I decide to call. Comes King 4-3 Rainbow, and what you need to know is that we're playing the 7-deuce game. The 7-deuce gets to pick somebody else up, so there's additional bounty added to it.
Oh my God, you get to pick somebody else up?
Oh yeah.
Kick them the fuck out of the game?
No. Just pick them up.
If they're sitting, they have to stand up again.
But I like your.
I was about to get
Kick 'em out of the game.
fucking excited because like you don't have to kick somebody out. As long as you don't have to kick somebody out, that'd be so awesome.
Or like maybe make it exactly one suit of 7-deuce suited, and then like if you win with that, they have to sit out a round.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Go
good.
take a lap. That'd be fucking great. Actually, I might introduce this.
There's
one.
got to be some like variation here that's just.
I would love nothing more than to just like constantly keep sending Oaken on a lap.
Why would you hurt your bottom line?
That's true. That is true.
That's funny.
Okay, so anyway, we're playing the 7-deuce game, but there's this weird thing. So like we're actually playing 100-200 instead of 100-100, and the 7-deuce bounty doesn't go up, so it's still only $300. So it's actually quite less, and there's less of a reason to go for it. But with the standing game in play, and the fact that the alternative would be like calling my squeeze and going 5 ways or just folding it, whatever. I think 7-deuce is still in range. I don't know how much, but I think there's still some 7-deuce in range. That's an important note. So it comes King 4-3 Rainbow. He bets 12K into like 32. I call. I think my flop call is pretty standard. Like regardless, all meta aside, I just think like you can't just be pure folding under pairs here. And I'm not gonna have a ton of them. Like I probably don't squeeze 9s. Yeah. So it's like I just have like 10s, jacks, sometimes queens. So I peel here, and then obviously I'm going to have a fair amount of King X. So I'll have like maybe like King 10 suited plus some Ace King, and then maybe some traps with aces because the SPR is not that big. Turn is an offsuit 5. So King 5-4-3. I think it's Rainbow or Badoogie. Maybe it's a backdoor flush draw of sorts, but I'm pretty confident it's Badoogie. He now bets, he tanks for a long time and then bets like 20K. And what I realized in the moment, or at least what I think I realized, I don't know how studied this kid is, but I think he's good enough to know what geosizing is. And I'm pretty sure he's trying to figure out what Geo 2 was. Yeah. Which is like roughly third pot, maybe a little bit more, like 40%. So he bets 20K into 55. Call. Which now I don't think I'm theoretically supposed to pure call by any stretch, and it may just like mix pretty heavily towards fold. Not sure, haven't ran it. But I wouldn't be shocked if my hand just like mostly folds, if not always folds. Yeah. So I call, and I really don't necessarily know what I'm going to do on the river. But again, I'm leaning towards like my hand is actually closer to being a king than it is just like an underpair because I think that he's so wide pre. So the river is an offsuit 9, and he doesn't think all that long and then jams. And I'm kind of in the blender because I think my intention was to call flop, fold, turn. And then I don't know, I had some spidey sense where like I didn't want to fold turn. And so it became like, well, I'll call turn and shut him down on the river. And then like we got to the river, and before he even jammed, I was just like, he doesn't give up on anything here. Right? Like his bluffs are just going to fall through, even though it just looks like I'm positioned to having a king and always calling. And that's pretty reasonable because he's jamming 45K into like 95. Yeah. So like you don't have to be right that often. Right. You only need to be right like 25% of the time or so. So like I'm tanking and I'm thinking about like what bluff combos could he possibly have, and it's like, well, he only needs to be bluffing like, a little less than a third of the time for me to be correct. Can he find those? Like, well, if he has ace 5 suited at all, that's, a couple combos. How
has he been playing up to this point?
Against me or against everybody else?
Just in general.
I think he's like loose, good, and aggressive. Like, yeah, I mean, like he just has too many hands in spots because the game is able to afford you to. And against me, like we've just been butting heads a lot, which is natural. Like we're just gonna battle in these spots. So I'm like, if he has ace 5 at all, like that's a pretty reasonable one. Like obviously the 5 has no showdown value. I don't land here with fucking ace high.
Right.
And then it's like if he has 7 deuce at all, that's probably enough bluffs right there. But then on top of that, it's like he could also just have hands like ace jack suited, ace queen, which are not really gonna be 4 bets pre. I don't think. I think you're mostly gonna play like call or fold, maybe small amounts of 4 bet, but like it's technically too wide. It's not too wide for like what's happening here, but it's like theoretically too wide. So I'm just like really kind of in the blender. It's like, man, I just don't know if he has enough bluffs here because he obviously has like this is a great way to play pocket kings. He basically 3Es. It's a good way to play ace king aces. So it's like he has plenty of fucking value, but it's like, can I find a third of his range of bluffs? I don't know, man. Whatever I call. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, well, I have an easy out. If I'm wrong, I can just go jump off a fucking bridge and put an end to it anyway. And if I'm right, I'm like the hero of the day. So I call and he shows ace queen off, and I was like, okay, good. I was right. That's nice. Yeah. So, you know, a little $200K pot, just get the day going.
Easy peasy.
Man,
I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
No,
Everybody else thought it was a big deal.
Yeah,
not for nothing.
What the hell?
I would have folded the flop.
Not for nothing. If he just somehow, some way found queens to flip over,
Yeah.
Oaken would have had a fucking field day with your life. Okay.
Yeah, Oaken wasn't there, but yeah, if he had value owned me, where like he just tables queens and I just tap the table with muck, that probably would have been the dumbest moment of my entire career. But I mean, it's just like it's got to be an impossibility.
Yeah, no, I know.
To go for 3 streets with queens there,
I'm just saying
that would be the most insulting 3 street value bet. I mean, that would be soul snatching. Truly, I would have to like take a deep look in the mirror and just be like, what on earth is giving this man the confidence to bet queens 3 times on a king high board?
Right.
And was it fear? Like, was it a bluff? Was this value? I'd be spinning. I would truly be spinning.
As you should have been.
But yeah, everything else just went smooth sailing there. Made some sets, made some flushes, made some straights. You know how it goes. Summer starter, baby. What the fuck? Up and rocking.
Let's get it popping then. Well,
we got more kitchen.
We got one more person cooking.
Okay, who's cooking?
Some cheating cat.
Oh, he's starting a house fire.
Oh yeah, he's on some shit. I don't know what's going on here.
We got a grease fire.
Toby?
Justin's videos look cringy, and he's also ugly.
And now we're teaching Toby how to play online poker.
I think he's weak. Time to go all in.
No, with real money against real people.
So how much is he down? Dude, I think he's up. What the?
I'm a god at gambling.
And Toby's still a beginner. But he's been playing for the last 24 hours straight, and he's been getting better the more he plays, every single hour. They say that 99% of gamblers quit right before winning big. For us, Toby is our 1%. If for some reason other people want to watch him play too, we'll probably set up a live stream in a couple days. Wish Toby and us luck.
And you want me to play online, and I'm going to have to play against Toby, the AI cat? Are you out of your fucking mind?
So, I don't think this person knows that he's cheating.
Clearly he doesn't.
They don't. Yeah. I mean, maybe
nothing is clear. I mean, the guy's building a fucking full-blown bot.
He's talking about fucking live streaming it. I don't think he knows he's cheating.
Who knows, man? Who knows? But yeah, that's cheating. That is the definition thereof. And I will say, you know, from an outsider's perspective, if you don't know anything about the game of poker, I could see where you could convince yourself that like automating your decision-making process is reasonable, especially if you're the one who built the algo. Yeah. Because it's like, well, it's my strategy. I'm just having a bot implement it.
Right. Right. It's like if you built like there's bots like that trade crypto or trade.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like you build a bot and you just let it run.
Yeah.
Right. And it's trading against real people, but that's not cheating.
Right.
It's just what people do, right? So like
it's just a different set of rules.
Right, I know, but like if you didn't know anything about poker and you see that they in one platform or one, you know, segment they do this and then in the other one they're doing the exact same thing, I could see how it would be like, that's not cheating.
I mean, it's interesting
I even think that it would be cheating.
Right. Well, in both scenarios, you're just trying to reach scale, right? And it's about executing a strategy that you believe in. I think the biggest difference is that there are so many widely available public strategies that are thought to be not unbeatable, but like, sound strategies, right? Like theory as we understand it is getting more refined day over day. So it's like when you could just, basically go purchase an online database, or even worse, like the MDA, right? If you could just go purchase a bunch of mass data and then look for the holes and just say, okay, I'm going to program a bot to just like take advantage of this stuff. Yeah, it's pretty shitty. From a content creation standpoint, though, I want to watch the stream. I mean,
you gotta see what Toby's got.
Yeah, like, sorry to everybody on GG, but like,
is that what client he was on? I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
it looked like it. Yeah, maybe it's Club GG. So for all you out there on the apps, you ain't safe.
Oh no, I'm not
I
sure
warned
where
you.
it was.
I fucking warned you. Honestly, the apps he could get away with this. I'm almost positive.
Yeah,
almost 100% positive. I think he could get away with it while he streams, and like still not get his account. Like he might get his account shut down, but I think he could make another one tomorrow.
Talk about cheating in 4K.
Literally, we thought we fucking had Fedor Cruz busted.
Right?
Like, bro used to fucking RTA while twitching, but this guy's just like putting the RTA on the screen.
Right.
He's like, look what the cat says to do. This cat's getting so goddamn smart. Oh man. All right, bro's not cooking. He's starting grease fires, but everybody else cooking nice and what is it? Low and slow.
Low and slow, baby.
And slow.
That's what we did. That's what we did yesterday.
Yeah, I missed our party.
I think it was worth it to miss it.
I mean,
it was so
financially, yeah, but
yeah.
I heard you and Andy were having a real meeting of the minds, real strategic sit down, talking shop.
About what?
Poker, from what I understand.
We were talking about poker?
Well,
Maybe.
that's
Possibly.
Tortoise doesn't
Are you
remember.
trying to downplay it here, Tori?
I'm trying to say I probably don't remember.
Okay.
I did what I did. I smoked a nice low and slow pork butt for you. I think there's some leftovers. If Landon doesn't eat them all. Landon, if you're watching, do not eat that pork.
I'll murder him.
That shit's already gone.
Swear to God,
Probably
if there's
is
a
already
pork
gone.
butt in the fucking fridge when I get home, someone's got to help.
I'll make you another one.
That
Thanks, buddy.
shit's got on.
That's sweet of you, but don't give this motherfucker permission. He can't just like leave town for a month, come back and start eating my food immediately.
Can we talk about this burger that you saw on the kitchen table and then?
Okay. I came home last night. There was food galore all over my countertop.
So much food.
There was two hot dogs and a burger left. Now they're just sitting out. Obviously, they're not edible, and I'm fucking starving. So
They're edible. Talk about hot dog.
I don't think you want to eat.
I don't think you want to.
What's a hot dog? You can eat a hot dog raw.
Hot dog. You're probably right.
8 hours out. That's
He's
disgusting.
right. He's right though. You can eat a hot dog raw, so it's probably fine.
Yeah.
Although, would you like let bologna sit on your counter for 8 hours and then munch on it?
Depends on how hungry I am.
Okay, fair.
Disgusting.
The burger, I don't think you could eat. Although I will say it was properly charred.
Yeah.
So Lamana did a good job making sure it was fucking well done. I imagine
That's not true.
I imagine that grill was fucking cooking.
Listen. When those burgers
nothing
came
low and
off
slow
when those
about that
burgers
grill.
came off the grill, they were nice and juicy. But when they sit there for 8 hours,
This looked like
they
a hockey
tend
puck.
to dry up.
It looked like a fucking hockey puck.
Yeah, it's not my fault.
What I saw.
It's your tardiness.
So this is at 2 a.m. I see this meat platter, if you will, sitting on the countertop. Ignore it. Go right for the cookies.
Go right for the
There was a lot of cupcakes too.
A lot of them.
So many cupcakes.
They were delicious. Go to bed. Come out this morning, and the hamburger's gone. Now, one of two things happened.
Rudy.
I immediately went Conrad.
I was beside myself. I can't believe you fucking asked me.
Yeah.
I am the last person in the house
He really is.
that would ever grab that.
Yeah.
I'm for sure the last person.
I would maybe agree with you, except if it's Landon or Rudy, the dog, the hot dogs wouldn't have lasted outside of the burger. Like, not just the burger would have been plucked.
Right. It would have been everything.
True.
It's way more probable to be you, in my opinion, when just the burger disappears.
Well,
Pipolinski.
Bib can't reach yet. She's too short.
Okay.
It just
I
wasn't.
don't know. Those arms are getting. Those legs are getting long.
She's getting close. She can get like her little tippy toes on the on
You
the
know what I
countertop.
did see?
What?
I saw a chair like next to the island, Like,
I saw that too.
what? Who the fuck did that?
I don't know.
Why the fuck would anybody do that?
Hugo's coming over to clean today. He'll take care of it.
That's nice.
Shout out to Hugo.
That's good because I think we left a pretty big mess there.
Yeah, you did. You guys just fucking used and abused my house.
Fucking Dolak is like...
This is Dolak. This, yeah, right.
Time out. Dolak's about to leave and whatnot, and I'm just like, kind of straighten up a little bit, put the pork in the fridge and stuff like that.
If the pork would have been left, if I would have came home and there would have been pork butt on the fucking counter, someone would have had hell to pay because I would have been angry and I probably would have just eaten it and chanced it.
Yeah, you'd have been fine. That thing cooked for 15 hours, man. There's nothing left in there.
It's not the way it works.
It was really, really, really good.
So I was cleaning up and whatnot, and Dolak's like... you're all good here? Everything's all good? He's like, I'm like,
how drunk was everybody?
I'm just kind of like, whatever. Yeah, sure, it's fine. What do you
By
mean?
the way, on our thread today of me quote tweeting saying we're live at 10:30 and putting a picture of the stacks, it's now turned into 45 replies. And people are putting spreadsheets up trying to count the chips. They've been broken down by color and denomination. Okay. Yellow. I should have done a fucking giveaway contest, I guess.
Yeah, seems like
ChatGPT. Somebody ran it through ChatGPT.
Really? What did Chat? Did it get close?
No. It said ChatGPT said yellow is 5 stacks. Each stack appears to have 20 chips, which it wasn't. There were 40.
Yeah.
So it was off by like a factor of 2.
Okay, AI is not going to kill us yet.
Not yet.
Can't even figure out how to count chips.
Can't count in the fucking pictures, but this is funny. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed the pic or the party, the picture.
Yeah.
The picture of the party.
You won $200,000. You're not sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm mostly sorry that I missed Lamana getting nose to nose with Andy going, "It's in the Bible."
I wasn't that drunk.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't, religious talk drunk yet.
That's fair.
It was just 7 p.m. Who wants burgers?
Hey, people got to eat.
There were something about, I hope this doesn't carry through the rest of the summer, but something about our game lately, they just really love talking politics. And I'm not sure why,
well,
but I do know that
year,
I need some sharp lines to come out because I don't give a fuck. I just want to make some money off the goddamn election.
Yeah.
Like it's a dumpster fire as far as I'm concerned. I've washed my hands of it, but if I can get some sharp money down, there is some pride going on the sides.
That's the thing.
Yeah, you just gotta attack.
Right.
Like, oh, you really like that side? Mm-hmm. You really like that side, huh? All right, lay me 5-1.
Yeah.
Let's get a little money down. Okay, so let's get to the core topic today. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming a little bit early. This is going to be somewhat of our new time slot moving forward for the rest of the summer. Yeah. Summer camp starts tomorrow, kids.
Oh, baby.
And we got shit to do, so we can't rock at the normal noon time spot. Maybe High Noon will be back. I'm not sure. If so, we'll be throwing it to them. But we're going to come at 10:30 every morning. So set your alarms or watch it on replay whenever you're grinding at the table with the WSOP. You'll see Tortoise out in the fields. You'll see Connie.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to... I got to talk to them after the show today, but we're going to get a little Conrad on the street, if you will. He's going to be floating around the Horseshoe in Paris, 10:30 in the morning, 5 days a week. Go find this motherfucker and get yourself on this show.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Oh, we're getting you mobbed, big man.
Yes.
We're getting you mobbed.
Good luck finding me at 10:30.
Just wherever they smoke weed, just go find the guy out there, and Conrad will then escort you.
What the fuck is wrong with him? I've told this fucking guy 1,000,000 times to stop saying that on the podcast.
Sorry.
He just fucking throws it out every single fucking time. Anytime. You have to think he's almost just like, you're just dumb. What the fuck?
Whatever. Anyway.
Tilted.
Anyway. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought.
Something about 10:30 and find Conrad.
Yeah, no, not that. We've covered that. We're also going to be having special guests coming on. Jesse Sylvia is going to be coming on once a week. Matt Hunt and Melissa, as always. We're going to be trying to get some other player interviews. I think Jungleman might be coming on tomorrow.
All right.
That's loosely confirmed. Got to make sure the times align because God knows where he's at. Honestly, we could play like Where in the World is Jungleman? I think he just like hiked some fucking mountain with no food and no sleep over the weekend. It was like, I don't know, like
Doesn't sound like
it was like something like 26 miles to the summit, and he just did it over the course of 72 hours of no sleep, no food.
Wow.
Seems like a crazy time to limit yourself on supplies.
Yeah.
Probably want to load up a backpack maybe.
Yeah.
Put some
pulled pork
Have
in
a
there.
jerky in there. Yeah. Well, that hamburger.
Yeah.
That was converted to jerky by this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we'll get Jungleman in character or just Jungleman?
No. Just we only want the jungle.
Okay. I kind of like all the different character jungles, man.
Relax. If he wants, I will allot him 30 minutes every so often. We'll call it Jungle's Corner. But I can't do Macho Dan. I can't do the
Triton one was really good.
The fucking samurai. Like, I don't know enough about anime culture. Like, Landon would have to direct that one.
He'd be happy to.
I know he would. But he'd rather have a big titty blue-haired anime girl.
That's honestly like one of my favorite jokes.
It's funny to me because I don't know anything about anime culture outside of the fact that the girls have blue hair and big boobs.
Yes, exactly.
Like, beyond that, I know nothing about anime culture.
Same, and that's why I made up the joke.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
This is Triton Dan.
Oh, Triton Dan.
I think he's supposed to be Poseidon. Maybe is that
yeah, it's Poseidon. I think
holds the Triton. Okay, I know my mythology. Yeah, I think this is. I don't know enough about anime. That was the greatest hand in poker, by the way. He just cut it a little short, but this is the equivalent of what Pads and fucking Fitton just did.
Turn it off.
The only difference is
turn it off.
The only difference is that when Pads and Fitton did it, they had 5 high and 4 high respectively. Here, Ryan Lang is top pair.
You want to know what the difference is?
No.
I didn't have 1% of the other guys. I had 1% of him there.
How are you not richer?
I was so sad.
Well, I guess he got second instead of first. That's probably part of it.
Yeah. But, he crushed it. Whatever.
What a fucking legendary hand. Legendary. Man, this is why I don't play Limit Hold'em. Imagine scrutinizing a half a big blind.
Right.
Like, I got to get this one right.
Yeah.
Gotta get this one right, man. I would be in there with a fucking 7. I would just be like, I call. I have queen high. Block your straight. I don't know. Fucking call. Queen 8. Is it good? No? Okay. Next spot. Let's go. I just don't. Man, I don't get it. God, that beard looks good. Ryan Lang looks fucking great. Mm-hmm. He looks fucking great, man. Nobody pulls off salt and pepper better than Ryan Lang. All right. So, yeah, we have a lot coming up for you guys for the WSOP. Really excited for it. And the WSOP is going to oblige by making this one of the best summers ever. Wild, all the stuff that they announced. And part of me thinks that they're trying to cover the disaster, not the disaster, but the bit of a letdown that was the WSOP circuit main. Not the attendance that they had in years past.
Mm-mm. Talk about the TOC.
At the Commerce, yeah.
Okay. I was going to say the main got like 340 to first, so that was pretty big.
Yeah, sorry. The TOC.
The TOC, the actual...
To me, the bracelet event trumps the main ring event.
No,
but,
of course.
that's... Who am I to put one piece of jewelry over another? I don't know. But it looks like last year they had 989 qualifiers and 741 entrants showed up.
Okay.
This year, 1,176 qualifiers, 559 entrants.
Oh, that's a drop off.
That's a pretty big drop. I mean, they increased the qualifiers by a little over 20%, and then they decreased the entrants by a little over 20%. That's a big delta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty significant.
What was the difference between last year and this year?
What changed?
What is different?
So basically,
your attitude.
Everybody that showed up was halfway to the money.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean,
not that. It's just their seat became worth more.
It just ended up being a lot more value for the people that actually did show up.
Yeah.
I wonder how they run the prize pool. Is it off of 1,100?
Well, it's $1 million. No, you're saying the cash?
Yeah.
That's a good question, actually.
I wonder if it's a preset.
I didn't see the payouts.
Right,
it's off the 1,100, which
do they pay 125 spots or do they pay 75 spots?
Exactly, and I don't honestly
probably should pay 125. It's a free roll.
Yeah,
I mean, yes, but I think it logically, you would do the other way.
You're
75.
Yeah. Once registration closed, they probably just do a standard payout structure.
Yes, that's what I would think.
They blinding the people off.
No. No. You actually have to go and register.
Imagine fucking blinding off 500 stacks for fucking hours.
You just get at a table where it's just
they just become ACR. They literally just become ACR. They're like, sorry, we found 725 bots. We're just gonna put those stacks in play. If you have one at your table, God bless. Honestly, it would be fine because they had more people not show up than actually show up. So you're guaranteed to have at least one per table.
Wow, that's not true, but
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, over
on average, you'd have one per table.
Yeah,
but not guaranteed to have one.
Well, they'd screw the pooch pretty badly if they have 725 people that didn't show up and 559 entrants and didn't put an empty stack at every table.
There's just one person there with all eight empty stacks, and he's just doing the blinds over and over again.
The dream. The dream. I feel like that's happened to me on a break before. Way back in like the early 2000s, especially at the Brigada, where everybody just goes out to smoke after. Yeah. It's just like, oh, you look around, you're like, oh, 8 of these guys are going to get high. I'm rushing back. And you just steal the blinds for the first 4 hands as they like stagger back, glossy-eyed. Like, man, these guys are going to get real creative in the next hour. But yeah, the circuit event aside, or the TOC aside, which I actually am curious if they'll increase the prize pool as they continue to add more entries, right? Because
it should.
Well, like 2 things happened. More people became eligible, but fewer people showed up. So it's like there's really no reason from the operator side to increase the prize pool in that regard because your seat was actually worth more this year than last year.
Yeah.
But from the other perspective,
keep moving it to like worse and worse places.
Right. It's in Rosgadov next year. They're like, hey, World Series second event, Rosgadov at King's Casino.
Right.
It's going to be in the middle of June.
They've had 1,500 qualifiers and 3 people showed up.
Right.
Have at it, boys.
I hear Slovakia is beautiful this time of year. The WSOP circuit online schedule.
It's popping.
It's finally been released.
My God.
It did not disappoint this year.
I mean, are you guys
if
happy?
You're an online player.
Are you guys happy to wait now? Are we all happy to wait a couple extra days?
No, everybody's still complaining.
A couple extra weeks.
Everyone's still complaining.
Fucking a month worth of online bracelet events, new software.
There's some big buy-ins. There's some small buy-ins. There's something for everybody.
There's multi-day events. There's mystery bounty. Shit is popping.
Oh, my God.
Conrad, you all right? Oh, you're about to pop off yourself.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Summer's here.
This man's about to pop.
I'm
gonna blow.
I'm very excited to play some poker.
Did any of you see? So we all had to register new names. Did you register yours yet, Lamana?
Not yet.
You better hurry.
I'm gonna do it right after the pod.
You better hurry.
Yeah, you have till 4 o'clock today.
I found out
that wasn't why you need to hurry. Why? What happens after 4?
Oh, no. I don't know. That's the pre-registration.
Yeah,
right?
pre-registration ends at 4 o'clock.
Ends at 4.
What's the?
Actually, maybe not.
What's special about pre-reg?
I don't know. But
it just migrates your money and stuff like that.
Interesting. Oh, from
money.
if you have a balance, it carries it over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, you can just get your name, obviously.
Interesting. Okay.
But if you haven't, from what I understand, I think if you have a name in Michigan, you don't need to make one here.
It just, whatever you have in Michigan carries over.
That is from what I understand, meaning we'll have one name for every state. I'm not sure how true.
I don't believe that's true.
I'm not sure how true that is, but that's what I thought.
I'm 99% sure that's not true because well, I guess I'm not positive of anything, but the previous.
Just 99%.
Well, the previous way it was set up was you had to have a Jersey account and a Nevada account, even though it was shared liquidity.
Okay.
So I don't think bringing Michigan into the pool is going to change that because it's different regulations.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I must probably misread a tweet that was out there, but
and also I failed KYC for New Jersey, but not for Nevada. I guess I don't know.
Weird.
That's what the email says. They want my social security card.
No. The email is always from New Jersey. I think. It looks like it's from New Jersey. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Maybe I'll have to look more into that. I'm not entirely sure either. I hope you're right. It would be nice. I mean, honestly, like I wish they would have made the push to go to real names. I think that's like the next step here. But in lieu of that, we have a bunch of nicknames, and with new name changes comes the sincerest form of flattery, which is mimicry. I couldn't get my name. Berkey 11 was gone.
Oh yeah,
instantly.
Mama Joe.
No, it wasn't Mama Joe.
Mama Joe.
I signed up at 8 a.m. morning of when the email was out. Berkey 11 was already gone.
Wow.
You want to know what else is gone?
Oh, for Bry?
I didn't look.
No, okay.
D-Negs.
D-Neg's gone, yeah.
I sent Guapo a little thread. It appears as though the difference is they're going to get D-Negs back, or at least they're trying to. So apparently, this guy tweets. He says, "My friend has an issue. He registered the name D-Negs on WSOP. He's a lawyer who loves poker and he doesn't like to negotiate. So D-Negs was perfect. I'm sure. Like, don't negotiate was going through his head. Sure.
Yep.
They're trying to get him to change it because someone complained, and they threatened to ban him. What would you do?"
Wow.
So it shows that he pre-registered the new WSOP software, and then it sends the standard email, "Hey D-Negs, you have successfully pre-registered the new software, blah blah blah." Then it sent him an email and said, "We're going to kindly ask you to change your online name." And he replied and he said, "I already requested a new username and it was approved. What seems to be the issue?" And there hasn't been follow-up since. So I'm not sure where this is going.
I mean, you know, in baseball or any other sport, if you go to a new team and you want somebody's number, you pay for it.
That's true.
This man, he got there before you. You got to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems fair.
I don't know.
It's just a name. I mean, good God.
I don't know. It's corny to me.
What?
Like somebody stole Brock Lesnar.
Really?
From Mike Holtz. It's just like it's just like super corny.
These names also might have just been names from Michigan. So I tried to be my name in Michigan, and it wouldn't let me use that name again.
Right.
So what I'm assuming is that some of these names.
If that's true, then what you're saying could. Well, no.
I know for sure that nobody would ever take the name I tried to make or have in Michigan.
No, I understand. I'm just trying to think of how it was when it just Jersey and Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm trying to remember if I had the same, like because I know I had to register for 2 different accounts.
I definitely had 2 different names, 100%. Watch Me Do Me in Jersey and
right, but that was a choice, is what I'm saying. I feel like I was able to just take Berkey 11 _ solve for Y for both.
I don't know.
Is that one gone too?
No, that's what I went with again.
I don't know, man.
I really don't remember. Well, let's put it this way. I guess that doesn't indicate anything. I was gonna say if that's true, then that indicates the pools are probably still segregated, and you have to have a separate account for all 3. But I don't even think that that's necessarily true. It just means there can't be duplicate names.
It'd be kind of cool if everything's together, honestly. Like you can just use one account everywhere.
Yeah, I really don't think that's true because of regulation, but again, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But again, it's really not that big of a deal. The only reason it's a big deal is because your accounts can go dormant.
Yeah,
so like
6
if
months.
you're in like Jersey and you leave like $100 on your account or whatever, they'll just take it after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And like you'll forget it. Like I know when I went to PA to play the bracelet event when they launched the platform there.
Yep.
I had a pile on there. I had like 60K or something like that after the bracelets and stuff like that. And I remember rushing to get it off because I was afraid that I would forget about it
and just leave it there
and just get captured.
Yeah, I think it's like a year actually. I think it's exactly.
I think you're right. I think you're right, but a lot of people who are like traveling to these places to play the. I mean, look
for WSOP. That's the number one idea.
Well, now that we're looking at this online schedule, I mean, this is a 30 event fucking WSOP. You don't have to come to Vegas to play a full bracelet schedule any longer.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Like this is pandemic style online bracelet events. Literally one every single day. Well, not every day.
It's like one every other day, every third day on average.
I mean, July 7th, there are four bracelet events. That must be a Sunday.
Yeah. It's.
Oh.
Wait, July 7th.
Hold up. July 7th has.
Can you bring that schedule up, Guap?
Yeah.
Is there a Colossus online?
Oh, there is an online Colossus, yes.
Oh, okay. I thought that they were doing day one of the Colossus online. And then
I
you
think
were
there's
playing
an online Colossus, unless that's what it...
No, I think you're correct because it overlaps the main event.
Right.
Which the Colossus is much earlier in the live schedule. I might end up playing a full online schedule while I grind cash.
Berkey's in the Colossus this year.
I'm gonna play this and then grind cash. I'll just have my fucking iPad with me.
No, that's the
real schedule.
I put it in assets. A link to it. Yeah.
So to give everybody a little bit of a preview prior to us pulling this up, some big additions here are they added a lot of PLO, obviously. Event 7 is a PKO, so it's a $500. Event 2 as well.
Wow, our first time seeing that.
No, we were in PA.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah.
But yeah, here in Nevada for sure. So PKOs, these are progressive knockouts, which means that the bounties continually progress as you go through the event.
There's a monster stack.
There's a $3,200 high roller, event 9. That's a highlight event. There's a mystery bounty, $1 million guaranteed.
Oh my God.
Mystery bounty on June 23rd. $500 buy-in. That's pretty fucking
Guap, you're going too fast.
It's probably it's definitely has to be a multi-day, right?
There's just so many events that we can't.
Just follow me, Guap.
How many flights do we see for this mystery bounty?
Just one.
No.
The $1 million one?
Yeah. Look at it. It says 1 million guaranteed on the.
They're different. Look,
scroll down, Guapa.
Event 11 is $1 million mystery bounty. It's $500 buy-in. And then event 19 is a mystery bounty championship, which is $1,000 buy-in.
That's sick.
I
feel like the last $1 million guarantee that ran, I got 7th in.
Yum.
Online, and I think it overlaid a little.
It's a PLO mystery bounty event, $500K guarantee.
Wow.
Event 17. And then multi-flight Colossus event. So this is the first time we'll see the multi-flight stuff. This is new. What else are they throwing in? There's a No Limit Hold'em championship. I mean, they're just calling anything a championship now. A 6 Max championship. Don't know what that means. It looks like there's 4 total high rollers. So a 3,200, a 5K, 5,300 on the 14th. 5 total ones. Another 5K high roller championship on the 10th. A 10K on the 11th. And then a 3,200 on the 13th.
So the one on the 11th, it's the WSOP online championship, and it's a 10K. So that's basically the main event of online.
Right. They run this every year.
Not a 10K.
Yeah. They run a 10K every year, for sure. Well, or they've had a 7,
right?
No, they always do 5Ks. I think last year they did 777.
7,777. I don't think there was a 10K last year. I think the biggest was 7,000.
Okay,
that one.
They do. They've done 10Ks in the past for sure.
Okay. I take your word for it.
And then there's a 25-seat scramble on June 30th and July 3rd. Those are always the best value if you're looking to win your way into the main event.
Those are huge,
they had an overlay last year. They had a big overlay. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they did more. I think they offered more seats. I think it was like 30 they offered.
It's always 25. Every year
it's a 25 seat scramble.
I
think they do 2 a year.
That's pretty dope that they kept it then.
I mean, they're not going to overlay now.
No.
They got 3 player pools to pull from.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
It's actually probably going to be pretty big. Maybe they'll give away 30, 40, 50 seats.
Yeah.
I wonder how much bigger the pool is going to be now with WSOP.com. Considering Michigan is considered has more people.
Probably
than
like 30% bigger, maybe.
I would think less than that.
I would think less than that.
Actually, I know it's less than that. Like I just know what the prize pools look like in Michigan, so it's like, I mean, probably like another 10 to 15 to 20%. 15 to 20%.
State of Michigan is 10.
It's the problem is about that. State of Nevada has 10 million and there's a bunch of fucking poker players.
But it's not going to correlate 1 to 1, right? You got to understand that now the software's better, the prize pools are just bigger in general, so it's going to bring more people in, which is going to make everything even bigger. On top of that,
I doubt that's going to bring like a lot of Michigan people. I'm
just saying that more people now. Look how excited everybody is to play online again. A lot of people that didn't play online are now going to play more.
I think the
volume's just going to go up.
I think in the near term, the pools will be bigger. I think we'll see a return.
Summer,
I think we'll see a return to like what we saw during the pandemic.
And we'll see what happens. what kind of drop off we have after.
Well,
there'll be some sort.
There will definitely be attrition, but also you have to understand that now there's a lot more available, I guess, to the heads of online to be able to make this bloom.
Yeah,
to retain their players and give them incentive, put out a better schedule, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever.
Yeah, and people get on there now, and maybe they had the experience that they had with the old software.
Right.
It's like, this is miserable, and now they get on and they come back and they play because the schedule's so great, and now all of a sudden they're like, wow, this is awesome. I love this new software. I'm going to play more often. I'm going to continue to play.
I think this is going to happen with the regs in Vegas.
Yeah,
like a decent amount of regs in Vegas that play.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start running high stakes cash on there.
Okay, Burke.
There you go. There you go.
I'm for hire.
All right.
You guys want me to get a 50-100 game off? 100-200? Oh my god, man, we played so much fucking high stakes during the pandemic. It's actually sick to look back on and think about how many thousands of hands I played at like 25-50 plus on WSOP client. Like, that's just not a thing. Those games don't run ever.
But the second you sat down, they did.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It was me and my boy SC Scarns, Scarney or whatever. One other big change this year to the WSOP is the Player of the Year rules. So they made it pretty simple, and I personally really like this adjustment. I haven't looked too deeply into the structure, so I don't know. I'm sure people who chase the POY every single year are maybe going to want to tweak some things, but they made it a 10 cash maximum. So your 10 best caches, 5 cash minimum, and your best online bracelet cash counts. So only one of your caches can be from online, but the best one, it's like best ball forward. Same thing with the rest of your live caches. I think this is great because it doesn't overly reward the grinders. And it also doesn't overly reward the mixed game players.
Right.
Like, you could have a sick no limit summer with like 10 caches and 2 or 3 bracelets.
It really opens it up for anybody to kind of win it.
I think so.
In a way.
I think and again, I didn't look at the calculator.
The Tortoise has a chance.
Well, sure.
I mean, we just run deep in a few of these events.
Just win 2 of them.
Yeah, win 2 of them. Win the Colossus, win the main event.
There you go, end of story.
I didn't look closely at the calculator, but I would worry that it would way overvalue the main event because of the limitations on how many caches they have. Maybe it's the same calculator as it was in the past, but I know in past years, like when Greggy and Bemba won it, like the mid 2010s, the early 2010s, the main event was just like massively weighted.
Yeah, well, maybe they scale it down in some way.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know in the past, or like more recently, it's similar to like the 25K fantasy rules, I think. I'm not positive. I obviously don't follow Player of the Year that closely. So it looks like, it's just one sentence. It's basically the same thing I just read. Everything else doesn't apply to the POY.
So there's a few that are excluded, like the the seniors, the ladies, the stuff that excludes people. So like, and the tag team.
Closed events.
Closed events, correct.
Yeah. Man, seniors high roller, you fucking love to see it, huh? They got a 5K out there for the seniors now. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
I mean, those things are popping. I mean, a lot of people
they get
play
huge.
the fucking
Hunt and I were talking over the academy. I think it was Hunt, and we were saying about like when we're like eligible to play, which closer than we think.
Sure.
You're gonna start having like a lot of people that like play high rollers. You're gonna see like probably like a high roller seniors, like a 25K seniors event.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Why not?
I agree.
Because
when you have people like Jason Kuhn,
they're not going to cater to those guys.
Yeah, it's going to be open event.
Like, number one, those guys won't play the open event, and number two, like, what are they going to run a fucking 83-man 25K? It's just the 25K. They don't need to make it a seniors event. It's literally just the 25K. What, you're just shut Mike Joseph out because fuck you, kid?
Exactly.
Ponikovs isn't allowed to play.
Whippersnappers.
Yeah, Ponikovs isn't allowed to play this one. All you're going to have is an American high roller. Just go to fucking Poker Go if that's what you want to do. Like, what are we talking about here?
Very good point.
Oh, man. No, we're not going to see a 25K seniors event. I can promise you that. But
Never know.
the 5K will be here to stay. That I'm very sure of. And it will just get tougher if Chidwick ever decides to enter. Or Gelfond or what. Maybe that's where Gelfond will come out of retirement. 10 years from now when he's 50, he'll come and sling it in the 5K seniors event. You know, finally.
What he's been waiting his whole life for.
Waiting his whole life for. That's right. All right. Let's get to this week's In the Muck.
Okay, we got another user submission. This comes from Ryan, and he's playing 1-3. I believe it's a live game. They're about 200 big blinds effective, so he has $600 stack, and he has the Ace of Hearts, King of Spades. In the hijack, he decides to open to 15. The small blind 3 bets to 60, and they go heads up to a flop of Queen of Diamonds, 5 of Hearts, 3 of Hearts. And the flop ends up going check, check. The turn is the 8 of Diamonds, bringing backdoor diamond draw. And now the small blind decides to bet about third pot, 45 into 23. And Ryan decides to call. And the turn is, or the river is the Jack of Hearts. And now we see about 80% pot, 180 into 213. Ryan decides to jam it in with his Ace of Hearts blocker, El Guapo-esque, and and he gets snapped off by the 10-9 of Diamonds.
Someone please call 911.
So I think there's a few mistakes probably made in this hand. First of all, pre-flop, I mean, I'm sure you have some flats, but you can probably definitely 4-bet here. For sure.
Yeah.
Especially being offsuit.
Absolutely. Lean towards
I was saying this in pre-production, but I think in games where you play these large open sizes, so in this instance he opened 5x,
right?
And then you face a large 3-bet size, right? So the correction when you're 3-betting, the correction to somebody opening large is to generally 3-bet small. Like when people take a polar size, somebody bets pot versus you.
Yeah.
Your 3-bet size, or sorry, your check raise size versus pot is generally like much smaller than your check raise size versus quarter pot, right? So usually the response to a polar action is polar in nature. Therefore, you don't have to go as large because you want to keep the opponent's range as wide as possible since you're already just selecting nutted hands and then good bluffs.
Right.
So I think in dynamics like this where people are just like pretty egregious with their sizings, I would just like purely play 4-bet with the strongest portion of my range.
Yeah.
Like I would just pure 4-bet queens, pure 4-bet ace king, pure 4-bet like ace king suited.
And this is based off of them using a large size, is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, effectively, it's just like if they're 3-betting linearly for like if they're investing way too much money with a linear range, then the easiest way to punish that is
20 blinds.
Yeah,
right.
So it's like he may say 60, you just make it like 130 with
kind of like
the best
a little
of your
over
range.
A click.
Right, yeah, because now you're committing a big chunk of your stack. Like you make it 130, now all of a sudden you've put in like 25% of stacks, a little bit less.
Yeah.
140s.
This is like a large percentage of the field that uses these sides. I'm one of them. Like,
it's not just it's everyone.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
like,
literally everyone. I mean, even in my games, like this would be the 5x open would not be standard, but
that's just because of
the 3-bet response will always be predicated upon the open size. So I could open 2x and I could open 10x, and I'm still going to face a 4 to 5x 3-bet.
Yeah.
Like that's just what people are programmed to do.
Quite honestly, I think the 5x open, it just stems from games being small, kind of like.
I don't care what drives it. Like, you just don't get the 3-bet linearly, or you have to 3-bet to a smaller size. So either you're making it 40 here, or you are just not 3-betting this linearly.
Oh yeah,
because it's really challenging to commit 10% of your stack through the 3-bet range.
And 40 feels bad because it's like you're giving them a very good price and you're out of position.
Yeah, but like you don't care about giving them a good price. I mean, not with a linear range.
Yeah, that's what
right. If you're 3-betting polarized, then you should make it 60 to 80, and then just lower the SPR as much as possible.
So if you're 3-betting correctly, you just make it 50.
What do you mean by correctly?
I mean, linearly.
Linear is correct.
Right.
It's just not correct for how much of your stack you have to commit. It becomes not correct versus these sizes. Like,
yeah.
If you saw how tight Theory played versus 5X, no one would ever open 5X anymore.
Right.
They open 5X because nobody plays tight.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's just like it's a function of the environment. But the correction off of that is not to just ignore the size altogether and just say, okay, well, I'm going to treat this like a 2.5X open and then play my ranges accordingly. Because it's like, that's just also incorrect. Unless you're infinite deep. If you're like 500 big blinds deep and the standard opening size is 5, well, okay, now you can treat it like you're 250 big blinds deep and its standard opening size is 250. Fine.
Right.
Like, that's reasonable.
Right.
But if you're only 200 big blinds deep and the standard opening is 5, it's like you have to play 100 big blind poker range here, and like you just don't get to be quite as linear.
Right.
But anyway, neither here nor there. So yeah, I personally don't care for the trap. I feel like it's a function of like feeling like people don't 3-bet linearly enough, and that's why we trap. But in any event, like a lot of things happen here that are just like errors. Like not well. I need to put this in my memory bank for good. But what was the line we pulled out of GTO Wizard?
Oh yeah,
not a blunder, but a mistake.
It was not an error. It was a inaccuracy.
Yes,
I never make them. So
I'll never remember inaccuracy.
Yeah,
but like, I need somebody put it on a fucking t-shirt.
Was it a mistake for Villain not to bet this board?
Yeah, like that's a huge blunder.
Queen 5-3 seems nice.
It's a range bet. Huge blunder to not c-bet, and if you're not c-betting here, like this is not just an inaccuracy; it's a blunder.
It's an error,
right?
Yeah.
So when a blunder occurs, and you are in the position of Ryan where you have ace king with ace of hearts, you have all of the reasons in the world to bet your hand.
Yeah.
You have 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush, 2 overcards. You can get value from worse. Like you can just have ace jack of diamonds.
Right.
You're blocking their best queens.
You also like just fold out a ton of equity. Like you're not getting trapped here. When people miss range bets, you're not getting trapped. Sure, they have top set with the Queen of Hearts some of the time.
Sometimes you are.
Right, but it's just like, who gives a shit? You're in position. Like, if you get check raised, you have a pretty easy decision. Yeah. You're not just like, oh, no, like, I got to fight. It's like, you get check raised with pots, like, pot SPR is like 1. So it's just like, okay, I give up. Right. Fine. You check raised me. Congratulations.
So if this Queen of Diamonds were the 6 of Diamonds, now it's a different story.
Yes. I think you'll see. Well, no.
Yeah, because he doesn't have 3s, 5s, or 6s, right?
That's not what determines if you see bet or not.
Okay.
Yeah, because you just have aces, kings, and queens, and they don't.
Well, yeah, obviously you have the overpair advantage.
Right. So it's like you have what, 60 combinations of overpairs, and then you're lacking 9 combos of sets. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like the set, you can't look at it as like who has the set advantage to that degree because the SPR is already lower.
And you do have 6-5 sometimes, so it's fine.
Right, but none of that really matters because the SPR is already down to 4. So your stack off threshold isn't sets, right? Like when the SPR is 30,
right,
it matters who has sets.
Yeah,
because the stack off threshold is much, much, much higher.
Correct.
But when the SPR is like 3.7,
it's like, here we go.
Pair is good.
Yeah.
Pair is plenty fucking good. It's a matter of like, what do we do with 7s through 10s now?
Right.
How often do they stack off? That type of stuff. So like, yeah, I mean, 6-5, 6-5-3, 2-tone, probably still going to be a really, really, really high frequency c-bet, if not close to pure.
Wow.
There just aren't like a lot of spots where when the SPR is already low and you 3-bet out of position, you're forced to check.
Yeah.
Ace high is like one of the ones that mixes. People get this one wrong a lot. Like ace high plays big bet check a lot. Most people just quarter pot it, and it's fine. It's a fine simplification, but you're a lot tougher to play against if you play big bet or check.
Yeah.
And it also functions for your range a lot better if you play big bet or check, because you do have a lot of weak ace-x and you have a lot of underpairs to the ace. And a lot of people will just bet quarter pot get called, as they should, because you bet very small, and then not know what the fuck to do on almost all turn cards with hands that are not ace-x.
Yeah.
Right? So it becomes an actual, like, that simplification actually complicates your turn and river strategy to a degree where it's better to just learn the split early and then figure it out from there. Okay, so missed range bet here by out of position, missed C bet by Ryan here in position. Pretty confident in that. And once we miss the C bet, our hand just like kind of turns to shit. So now the turn 8 of diamonds rolls off. We don't have a diamond. Diamonds are really fucking important here because most of the missed C bets are going to be backdoor hands. So we're going to be looking at hands like Jack 10 of diamonds, 9-10 of diamonds, King 10 of diamonds, Ace X of diamonds, and then also the no interaction with the board sizes, candidates. So like Jack 10 of spades that was just check folding, 9-10 of spades, Ace 10 of maybe not Ace 10 of spades, but King 10 of clubs that otherwise was like just check folding. Like all of this stuff now can follow through with a turn bet. My inclination is that turn size is too small, but I guess I'm not sure because I don't know how we're supposed to navigate after we miss the C bet.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know how capped this range is. I would imagine very. So if the out of position range is pretty capped, then maybe this like blockish size makes a lot of sense because you just have a lot of jacks, 10s, 9s, backdoor draws like I mentioned.
It's like you just
like
never
that.
have aces or kings anymore.
Or even like much queen
Ace,
X,
queen,
maybe like some queen X of hearts, but that doesn't need to go big. It's happy to just like bet small. So maybe the small size is reasonable. And I guess like we definitely have to call some of our ace king. I think we'd rather have a diamond than a heart, to be quite frank. Or maybe at least one of each. So if we have diamond heart, then I think continues fine. I just don't know how we're going to win this hand when we call with this particular combo, but I guess like we can just lean on the ace of hearts sometimes. So river's a jack of hearts, and I think we have a reasonable candidate to bluff over a block. If he bets like quarter pot here, then I think we can jam.
Yeah, he bets way too big. Chunky here.
Yeah.
We're jamming for basically a little over a click. This is, I mean, not click, but...
Can't shove here.
Yeah, no, absolutely
I just don't know what we get to fold. Right? Like, jacks have made a set. 9-10 has filled. Hearts have filled, which, you know, Queen 10 of hearts still exist. King Queen of hearts still exist.
Yeah.
King 10 of hearts still exist.
And I feel like those hands definitely would have bet on the flop, though.
Probably, but like, who knows? It's tough to just eliminate them.
Sure.
He has to have some combos, right? The Queen X of hearts are going to be the most natural ones to miss the C-bet with, I think.
Yeah.
Could have turned a set of 8s. That's pretty easy to go chunky with here. And none of these hands should really fold to jam. Because, like, what do you have?
Right.
That you're shoving for value?
Yeah.
Like, you just have way more available bluffs than value bets, I think. I think the bottom of our jam range is probably 9-10. I don't think we would jam jacks versus this size. Can't really get called by worse. So I think like our value is like 9-10. Can we shove queen jack? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I think our value is just like 9-10 and flushes.
We can't shove queen jack. No one pair hand is ever going to call us.
Right. Well, no, yeah, and also like no one pair hand should even exist.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we're laying such a good price on the pot that like technically we could kind of jam thinner for value, I guess.
I see what you're saying, but yeah.
Yeah.
If he has a smaller bet there on the river, then maybe you can get a fold, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the sim now, and it's basically like merging aces and ace queen, where they're kind of just like value bluffing, if that makes sense. Like they only specifically jam when they have a blocker. So ace of diamonds, queen of hearts shoves, and aces with ace of hearts, ace of diamonds shoves. And it's like kind of like a mergy type thing. But like you can see ace king, like there aren't really any bluffs. You're shoving for 60% pot. So like most everything is just like value or better. It's flushes, top set of queens, queen 10 of hearts. It's all pretty much just like, okay, I'm not laying much of a price. And then you can see, like I said, 10-9 gets in there at a low frequency. So 10-9 of diamonds exactly is going to be the one that lands here, because hearts would have bet and spades and clubs either would have bluffed earlier or folded to the turn. I guess they can't fold to... Yeah, no, they'd probably still fold to the turn. It's just a gut shot. You don't have any blocking power. So yeah, I think that the biggest error here is not recognizing a missed flop range bet. And that's just kind of being not familiar with 3-bet strategies out of position, I would imagine. So for Ryan, like the biggest thing he can take away here is better understanding how the small blind should be constructing his range here, and then realizing that he misses a pure bet. Then also understanding that we have the ace of hearts and it's just very clear that we have a c-bet. And the solver kind of backs this. So if we backtrack really quickly, we see this is like a 90% c-bet. A little bit of checking taking place. Nothing really wants to pure check. So every hand in range will bet. Easy simplification to a pure range bet. And it's big. It's chunky. It's going 67% pot. So if I give him the quarter size, obviously this is going to go to 100%.
Yeah.
Almost definitely.
It's real annoying for him, like when you do...
Oh, it didn't change at all.
When things like this happen and you check back flop here, it's real annoying because it puts you in a shitty spot and you end up calling turn a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
and on a brick turn, like that's reasonable.
Yes.
But, the 8 is kind of like meh. And it's the 8 of diamonds, which is also like a little bit annoying.
It opens up a whole world, and now you just go call and a black card.
Right. Yeah.
And you're like, fuck!
Yeah. So you can see that like this checking range is really capped. No aces, no kings. Only going to be queens with a heart, I think. No, not even. It's queen of spades, queen of clubs. So one exact combo. Very little queen X, like a little bit of king, queen of hearts, ace, queen of hearts. Not even. Really, it's the club variety that wants to check. Ace jack kind of gives up when it has no heart. Literally. No heart. So yeah, like super capped range once he checks, which you can see just leads to us betting at a pretty high frequency. We bet quarter pot 40% of the time. This is, if we sort for hearts, you're going to see that it's heavily favoring hearts, right? So like when we have our candidate, ace of hearts, king of spades, or maybe we had king clubs, doesn't really matter. But that's a pure bet.
Yeah.
Can't miss it. Kings and aces anytime we trap. Those are pure bets. Top set of queens when we have it, mostly betting. Jacks, obviously mostly checking back. Doesn't matter. Suits, same thing with the other under pairs. When we look at our 2 heart hands, these are mostly going to bet. Yeah, so there's like very little checking taking place with our 2 heart hands, exception being like the queen X. So we do check back like queen X of hearts at a pretty high frequency, especially our weakest ones, as well as like 10-9. But outside of those 3 specific combos, we just do a pretty hefty amount of betting. Ace king of hearts actually checks back at a pretty high frequency. But again, this is almost like a value check back, right? Because we're just like trapping this capped range.
Only hands of value that would check back are this when good things can happen.
Right.
Like when good things can happen, sure, who gives a fuck with the turn?
Like big turn coverage.
Exactly.
Now, when we look at our diamond hands, you can see that they play a much more heavy mix, but that the candidates themselves lean a lot more pure. So you can see like 3 to a straight hands, like 10-9 of diamonds, pure bet. Jack 10 of diamonds, mostly bets. But then when we get to like the 1 over 3 to a straights, we can see that these start to mix a lot more heavily with check. The more showdown value they have, the less likely they are to relinquish that now. Ace king of diamonds, pure check. Ace jack of diamonds, high frequency check. The lower down you go in showdown value, the more often it checks. The more often it bets, right? Ace 5, really high showdown value, so it doesn't bet as often. Ace 4, nowhere near as much showdown value, so it almost pure bets. Very easy rules of thumb. Same thing with like 6-5, 5-4. These never bet. Whereas like 7-6 for the gut shot is a pure bet. 8-7 with the 3 to a straight bets half the time. 9-8 with a bunch of different backdoors, nearly pure bets. So a lot of easy principles to extract there from what should be betting and what shouldn't. This does go check, which is a problem, obviously. Turn 8 of diamonds. Our hand candidate's never going to be there, but I locked for it to be there earlier, and it just becomes a pure fold. So the 40% is reasonable, I guess. It does happen, but it's only 7%. He's just supposed to check turn almost always. So that's kind of another thing that leads to the error here, is that now we should just be facing a double check because so much of his range should be like jacks, 10s, 9s, and they don't really want to bet. They don't need to bet for value or really protection. So when we do face this bet, you can see that we actually raise a pretty reasonable chunk, but most of it's just straight value. It's like pocket 8s, 9s for bluff, pocket queens that we slow played. Now all of that queen X of hearts, it finds a way to raise a little bit.
Can you explain to me why 9s is bluffing?
So it looks like it is very particular to no. Yeah, it really wants the 9 of diamonds specifically. So I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so you block
10,
like his
9, jack 9.
Yeah, his continues.
Yes.
I wasn't sure,
shouldn't
but
have.
like the heart diamond combo is just like pure. But the thing is, like, that one also just bets the flop.
Maybe you just get like jacks and 10s to fold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Right. Like we're raising, not betting. Remember.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens is you start to attack the hands that are betting for protection's sake. So you see jacks are in their small frequency, 10s are in their small frequency. He never has 9s, or he shouldn't anyway. He really doesn't have any hands that possess a 9 whenever he c-bets. So yeah, I imagine that he's just you're just trying to put a lot of pressure on very weak holdings, like ace king high that you're denying, king jack high that you're denying equity to. Clubs and spades are both c-betting here some of the time. Ace 4 for the gut shot. Like, he just has a lot of bet folds, right? So if you were to raise and then if you were to raise here, I think the reason why 9s function is because they actually just have showdown value. So if you were to raise, you can see that like ace 4 still has to call some of the time. Ace 3 calls some of the time, so you actually get value. Ace 4 calls here pure. Ace 3 calls some of the time, it raises some of the time, so like you get value. Ace deuce, pure call. You're just getting value. Like really, really thin, disgustingly thin value. And then like you just check back with 70% pot unimproved. It's kind of mergy. It's kind of gross. No one's going to find this in game, I don't think. This turn strategy is like really difficult to execute. Like just very difficult. And it's all a byproduct of not c-betting flop. Okay, so now we call with ace king. We never have our suits. So let's lock for it, I guess. And we lock for it. Do we ever get here? No. Okay. Well, we have ace king, ace of hearts, king of diamonds. Let's see what that does. And if it's wonky, then I'll add back in our candidate. But I would guess that hand pure folds versus the chunky size. So let's find out. Okay. So here I restricted it to 75% pot because that's what he chose. And I'm guessing if he bet 75% pot, he never has the all-in button because his hand's actually just supposed to jam. So 10-9 in diamonds, you see it's a mix between big bet and check. Same thing with queens, king, queen suited, etc., etc. He has just like very obvious chunky value that he gets to go for here. And not a ton of bluffs. I mean, he has bluffs, but like they're pretty obvious ones like ace king. A lot of his 5x just gives up and checks. And you can see ace king here is just pure fold. Doesn't matter what combo you have.
Right.
So I don't need to add ours back in. We can't do anything. And when it comes to bluff jamming, because we're jamming for so small, like I said, we don't really jam much of anything outside of thin value, right? Like, let's do not hearts. So exclude hearts. Yeah, there you go. So everything we shove is a flush.
Exist, yeah.
Everything we shove is a flush, and then like this sliver of 10-8 of clubs that somehow made it to the river.
Yeah.
Which probably, you know, in practice, yeah, I guess first 40% pot on the turn, you're going to call a pair, whatever. And then you have like this sliver of Jack 10 that rivered a pair, right? Like that's it. These are your bluffs. Everything else, like you're not trying to rep the nut flush. You're jamming for so small, like he doesn't need a flush to call, right? Like look at what his calling range is when he calls. Let's do the same thing. We'll exclude hearts. Okay. Look, he still has all of this to call with. He's calling with ace queen. Wait, I said exclude hearts. Oh, that's include hearts. My bad. Exclude hearts. Okay, so he's 10-9. He has his exact hand, which is what Villain had, 10-9 of diamonds. And these are his folds, basically. So he will have bet folds with ace king. That's his bluff. Ace 4 is his bluff. Ace 3 is his bluff. He'll have a tiny sliver of 9-7 and then a smidge of 6-4. So, there are bluffs that we get to attack, but ace king's just beating them all, right? Ace king's chopping with ace king suited.
Right.
And it gets better to fold in ace 3, but it beats everything else, right? So if you're going to do anything here with the ace of hearts, it should be a call, but like you're never good. So don't call.
Yeah, right. Don't pay.
Right, don't pay. This is just like a clear
right,
fold.
and I think it's just like kind of an example where it shows that you can't just take the nut blocker and just go nuts with it.
Precisely.
Right? Like people tend to see like I have the nut blocker, so I can just jam because he doesn't have the nuts. But no, there's like the SPR is way too low for you to just put that much pressure
Even
on
at a higher SPR, like it's probably not very reasonable.
just because it wouldn't play that way anyways.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean like the nut blocker is just like you would probably use other blockers. Like you'd probably be more inclined to use the king of heart blocker or maybe the 10 of heart blocker, right? Because it's not like he arrives here through this line with the nut flush all that often.
Right.
So what you would want is to have like straight blockers alongside flush blockers because these are the most natural like bet calls. You'd want to have like set blockers. So like maybe you have like, I don't know, like if you ever get here somehow with a hand like Jack 10 off, which you probably don't, but if you ever have like Jack 10 with the 10 of hearts, like that could maybe potentially merge.
Yeah.
And,
you block
and turn
sets, you block two pairs, you block straights.
Yeah.
You block some flush.
But yeah, I mean, like that stuff's just really unlikely to even be in range, and then you have to get super creative. So when you're bluffing for these small sizes, it's just like it's so much less important than actually knowing where the threshold is for value that you can jam, and where that threshold was like queens. So like queens played a mix of shove in and call, or no, sorry, they didn't. They just played pure call. So yeah, that's not even true. The threshold actually is 9-10. So the bottom of your range that you can jam for value is just a straight.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense.
And even that like mixes. It's like half call, half jam.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was very mucky. It was very mucky, Ryan. Very mucky.
Can I ask a small takeaway from this?
Yeah.
So something to keep in mind when I do have the nut blocker is that it helps to block their value stuff. Is that am I thinking about that right?
It's important when you're bluffing the nut flush blocker that your range is either very dense to flushes or their range is not. If their range,
so having a pair as well is good, right?
Well, I was about to say, and if their range is not dense to flushes, then it's important that you block other stuff too. Because if they just don't have very many flushes and they're showing aggression, outside of just like making massive folding errors, they're going to still have to call whatever the top of that betting range is. Right. So if they don't have very many flushes in the top of their betting range, then they're going to have to go to the next hand class, whatever that may be, straights, sets, who knows. But the most important thing is understanding pot odds in general. If there is, if somebody puts a small bet out there and the SPR is relatively deep, then the amount of equity they're going to need to call a big bet is going to be relatively high, which is going to position them into needing flushes. That would be a good time to have the nut flush blocker. If they put a big bet out and you don't have a ton of money left behind, well, the amount of equity they'll need to call off will be substantially lower.
Yeah.
And now they'll be able to call many hand classes below
because of the price that you're laying.
Correct. And also because of the price they laid themselves when they bet.
Gotcha.
So if they knew when they bet large that they get to bet wider than flushes, then they also know that when they get jammed on for a small amount, they get to call wider than flushes. So having the nut flush blocker here is all but irrelevant.
Right.
You guys also find yourself in the muck. We got a big summer ahead of. We're going to be doing so much mucking. Yeah. So much mucking around. We got Guapo in the muck this week. Don't worry about that. He's going to be submitting some academy hands.
We got video footage of it.
That's right. Don't you forget. If you guys find yourself in the muck, be sure to go to our Discord channel. You can find that at onlyfriends_pod. That's our pinned tweet. Or you can hit hashtag Discord in the chat to your right. That will give you the link directly to the Discord channel. We have an entire forum dedicated to In the Muck. You guys can give your submissions there. Tortoise will pick them out, and then we'll air them out on. We'll air out all your dirty laundry here at the Only Friends Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also don't forget that we still have the Chaos sign-up code. It's good till May 31st, so you have another 4 or 5 days of that code being good. Half off your first month. Matt Hunt's course is out now. Theory in the Chaos, Part 1. The first 3 lessons are live on S4Y TV right now. Again, you can find that at s4y.io. Use sign-up code CHAOS, and you'll be able to explore the 4, 5, 6-way multi-way action that Matt Hunt's been dissected with Rocket Solver. Lastly, don't forget the time change. We're going to be coming at you 10:30 in the morning for the rest of the summer, beginning tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll be joined by Poo Dog. I'm going to have to set an alarm for her. Maybe start rapping on the door like I used to back in the day. Get your ass up! It's summertime, baby!
It's time!
We're in the streets.
I'm so excited. Let's get it popping, guys.
That's right. You can go find Conrad at the Horseshoe tomorrow. Swear to God, he's going to be there. Not tomorrow. There's no events yet. But wherever the first final table is, you'll see him.
Oh.
And for us, that'll be Wednesday at the WPT final table.
That's right.
Wow, let's get it popping, Len. I'm excited for the kid. 6 left.
That's right.
850 up top.
Long Legs McGee. He'll be back here tomorrow.
Let's do it.
We'll see you guys all then.
Later, squad.
Peace.